It's crazy. It's like a boiler waiting to explode. You've been waiting for this so long.
This dude's brain is absolutely fried. Donald Trump held a nonsensical rally in Las Vegas, Nevada tonight, and there are some really interesting moments I want to dissect, because he got confronted on John Kelly's comments not once before the rally, but twice after the rally, and both times they didn't go his way. And the first time he basically confirms what John Kelly said, that he wants loyal leaders. He says, "I fired Kelly. He was weak. Kelly was weak, so I fired him," which confirms that Donald Trump wanted German Leike generals beneath him. And the second time, we'll get to that. But first, make sure you drop a like, subscribe. Let's jump into this first clip of Donald Trump pushing his election fraud lie and then saying his supporters are a boiler waiting to explode.
Increasing the so-called tip, she wants this. When I said no tax on tips, remember?
This is Donald Trump, after pushing election fraud lies, trying to mobilize his voters. It's very reminiscent of the 2020 election, when even before the election took place, he spread lies about voter fraud. He intentionally laid the groundwork and primed his voters to have distrust in our institutions so that he could take the stage on election night and declare victory prematurely. And he's taking the exact same strategy here, but some good news: over 20,000 people in Georgia for VP Harris and Barack Obama. This is their biggest crowd yet in Trump numbers. It'd be about 120,000. We can go with that. 120,000 people right here in Georgia. The energy on the ground is palpable, and we'll get to some more clips of Barack Obama speaking, because it was amazing. But here's a side-by-side of Trump's rally, which had people walking out, and Harris's rally, where the energy was, again, these both took place in the past 24 hours. And I've been to 20, maybe 30 Trump rallies, and something I can tell you is that people get there at 9 a.m. They wait for him to speak. He takes a stage at about 7. Oftentimes he's late. 1 or 2 hours, takes a stage at 800 or 9, and then people end up walking out because they are not impressed. This video is still going. As you can see, people walk out of Trump rallies very frequently. Let's go back to these videos right here. So this is Donald Trump before his Las Vegas rally being asked about the John Kelly comment, and then I'll play the video after.
She said during that town hall she believes they've handled the border correctly. CNN pressed her on it. Would you have done anything different? Do you regret anything? And she said, quote, "I think we did the right thing."
Wait a minute, that she's handling it correctly?
Correct.
She said that?
She said that. She said, quote, "I think we did the right thing."
We allowed 21 million people in. We allowed 13,099 murderers. We allowed mental institutions from all over the world. If she said that, look, she's a grossly incompetent person. And if she said that, they had the worst border in history.
He didn't say that Trump is like Hitler. He said that you like Hitler. And Donald Trump is talking about himself here clearly when he says that John Kelly is weak. He's a bully and all bullies are weak, and that he's not smart. But in the process, he reveals something crucial. He says he fired John Kelly because John Kelly was weak, implying that he wasn't loyal enough, which perfectly backs up what John Kelly said about Donald Trump needing loyal generals as loyal as Hitler's. I mean, You can perfectly connect the dots, and we don't have to take John Kelly's word that Donald Trump disparaged military vets. He did so to John McCain publicly, and other people publicly many times now. Here's Donald Trump afterwards being asked similarly.
The Atlantic is reporting that you said that you wanted the kind of generals that Hitler had. Is that something that you've ever said?
No, I never said that.
What did you think?
It's a rag that he made up stories. He's done it before. It's a failing magazine. Right before the election, it's a failing magazine.
In order for John Kelly to have made up that story, Ivana Trump would have had to made up the story back in 1993 when she told the lawyer that Trump keeps Hitler's speeches next to his bedside, and in 2005, another story about Trump and Hitler must have been made up. It must have been a long scheme because John Kelly and two other individuals, two other high-ranking military officers, have all corroborated the story. So this would be some wild scheme to take down Trump. Ron Philip Cow, he said, the man never lies. So I guess we have to believe him, obviously being sarcastic. But he makes a good point right here. I mean, Trump is trying to control the narrative. Meanwhile, he's meeting with Hulk Hogan. Donald Trump just loves people who say the N-word in general. At least he's got Hulk Hogan. You know who we only have Eminem and Beyonce is going to be with Harris soon? Here's Trump in the same Vegas rally with an Ior Mekon ad over on the left.
Get the hell out of the couch, Hank. Get up, get that big fat ass of yours. We're gonna go and vote for the president. We're gonna turn our country around, Hank. Come on, let's go, Hank.
He is very uniquely slurry tonight. He can barely talk. Maybe that is why people walked out quickly. Now compare this to Obama and Georgia on the same night at the same time.
And then I hear, the other thing I hear, some folks will be like, well, Donald Trump sent me a check during the pandemic. No, y'all know, because I've heard this. I know y'all, some of you heard that. Hey, let me make sure y'all understand this. Joe Biden sent you a check during the pandemic, just like I gave people relief during the Great Recession. The thing is, we didn't put our name on it because it wasn't about feeding our egos. It wasn't about advancing our politics. It was about helping people. That's the difference. Don't be giving them credit for that. Come on. He sent you a check. Do not fall for that okie doke. Don't be bamboozled. Don't get fooled.
I knew someone back in high school during the pandemic that was genuinely convinced that because Trump signed those checks, that means it came out of his own pocket. And that's what Trump was trying to do. Now, watch again. People walking out early, and many times people are putting their coats over their shoulder and walking out behind him 20 minutes into the speech. Here's Donald Trump saying, there's a lot of fake news out there, man, while conveniently always ignoring the Dominion Fox News lawsuit. He's saying this on Newsmax right now. Come on.
You look at oh, that's a lot of fake news. Man, that is a lot of fake news. I don't believe it. Wow. You know, they sort of have a death wish because they don't want to follow me, but they have to because those ratings. Ultimately, it's ratings first for them.
He said the media has a death wish right there. And here's Trump talking about not reading off a teleprompter as he is.
Here tonight, we have an intelligent group of people. You have a man that doesn't need teleprompters. Wasn't that nice? And unlike us here tonight, we have an intelligent...
Unlike us, we have an intelligent group of people that sounds about right now. In this clip, Trump singles out Danica Patrick in the crowd and says that if she died in a hydrogen car explosion, she would be unrecognizable. I knew Dana Patrick from the Indy 500 growing.
Here tonight, we have an intelligent group of people. You have a man that doesn't need teleprompters. Wasn't that nice? But
what did he say at the beginning? Unlike us here tonight?
And unlike us here tonight, we have an intelligent.
What an odd thing to randomly point out, and I really quickly want to check out this article titled "The Double Standard for Harris." And Trump has reached a breaking point. One candidate is able to rant about gibberish while the other has to be perfect. I point this out all the time. The media holds VP Harris to an impossible set of standards while treating Trump with actual kid gloves. Something is wrong with the split-screen picture on one side. Former President Trump rants about mass deportations and claims to have stopped wars with France that didn't exist right after being described by his longest-serving White House chief of staff as a literal fascist. On the other side, commentators are debating whether VP is performed well enough in a CNN town hall to close the deal. They're talking about the intricacies of her housing plan, while ignoring John Kelly's story completely seriously. Much of a double standard here. Somehow it is apparently baked into this campaign that Trump is allowed to talk and act like a complete lunatic, while Harris has to be perfect in every single way. And Republicans want it to be this way. We saw Governor Sununu go on CNN the other day and say, "Hey, voting for Donald Trump has all of this stuff already baked into it. You know what? You are getting for a fact." So he's saying that, the Hitler love is a part of the Trump campaign. Here's a clip of Donald Trump saying RFK Jr. is going to be in charge of the health in his administration.
And we have, don't forget, Bobby Kennedy is going to straighten out our health. He's going to straighten out our health. And
that is not reassuring whatsoever.
All of that stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to have him working too much on the environment. I'm a little concerned about that with Bobby. I don't know if I want him playing around with our liquid gold under our feet. I gotta say, Bobby, work on health. He's great.
He's great on health to Donald Trump because he's antics, but he's not great on the environment to Trump because he's actually pro-climate change, or pro-reform, rather. This week it's become ridiculous retired Marine Corps General John Kelly, who served as Trump's Homeland Security Secretary for 6 months. Dennis's White House Chief of Staff for a year and a half said that Donald Trump certainly falls into the general definition of fascist for sure. And this followed a similar assessment by retired Army General Mark Milley, who is a chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff for the final 16 months of Trump's presidency. The highest-ranking military official in the country said, "Trump is fascist to the core." It is hard to overstate how extraordinary this is. Two of the nation's most honored and respected warriors are saying this about Trump, and it's had no effect on his campaign, and it's largely due to the media and the coverage of this. I mean, Trump still has a 51% chance of winning when they ran 1,000 simulations, even though a lot of these national polls look quite good for VP Harris. So let me know what you think. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments or just say, "Hi, thank you for your support." And until next time, I'll see you soon.